Good Monday evening to everybody. It is good to see you, and it is good to be seen by you. I am Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're having an absolutely outstanding evening, all of you. And hello, Michael Dale, TXG. Good to see you all. Why is that falling down? Don't like that. Hopefully that's not going to be a problem, because there it's going to stay for right now. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm glad you're here. We have got a fun-filled Monday lined up for you. Christopher Sackle, hello, good to see you. We might have a few new viewers joining us tonight. You might have noticed, guys, that we jumped up a few subs this weekend. And I have to say, guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so very, very, very much for subscribing. So if you're one of the regular viewers, I want to say this to you. Mark Morrison, hello, good to see you. Timothy M. Holt, got to get to 10K. That's a long way off, Tim. That's a long way off. But I want to tell you guys how we got where we got, I think 250, almost 250, like 275. We're like this close to 6,000 subs on the channel, guys. And I want to tell you how we got there. I want to tell you how we got here. So a lot of you guys know, back in the early 2000s, I started making free fan publications, modules. D&D modules was the big thing. And I make them look like old TSR boilerplate because that's the style I grew up with. It worked pretty good for Gary, so I figure I'll stick with it, right? And now a lot of you guys have got them. A lot of you guys have gotten them already. I've shared the links with you before, and you've downloaded them. But there's always been this kind of gulf between you folks who follow me on YouTube and folks that I interact with on Twitter. There's a little cross-pollination going, right? But I thought, why not unite the tribes? And I know there's a lot of people over on Twitter who occasionally look at my stuff. I interact with some wonderful people in the TTRPG space over on Twitter. And I thought, what is the best way for me to share? What is the best way for me to share what I've got? Joe Kaufman, good to see you. So I said, hey, if you follow me on Twitter, give me a subscription on YouTube, and I'll drop a link to these 5 modules. Now, I know there's 6. I know some of you are like, oh, you're holding the best one for last? No. I took the worst one out. Okay. I'll tell you, I'll post up on Twitter that thing. Its genesis is better than the module itself. But so I said, hey, you want these? Now, here's the thing. You have to DM me that you have subscribed to me on YouTube and that you're following me on Twitter. If I just see a follow on Twitter, I don't know, right? So let me know that you did that, if you did that. And if you're somebody that has been subbed to this channel for a long time and you also follow me on Twitter, and you just happen to not see it, I'm not holding out anything against you, okay? I'm not over here like, no, this is just for new people. That's one thing that I want to be 100% clear about. Hey, the Dungeon Minister. Deaths, good to see you. Let me be 100% clear. You guys can have these, okay? Like, there is no fear of missing out. It's not like, and it ends tonight at midnight. No. You hit me up on socials and I will get you the link to the whole raft of modules. Couple of things. No, they're not in print. I can't send you print copies because I don't have print copies. I know of one guy who like went through the trouble of getting like the first 2 modules I ever did printed and bound, and people were wowed by them. And I got like really grainy pictures of them he took on his flip phone. That's how long ago that was. But I've never had print copies. They don't cost you anything. Okay. They don't cost you anything. And there is no fear of missing out. If you haven't gotten them, let me know. You know, if you're watching, you've probably thrown me a subscribe on YouTube already. I'd like a follow over on Twitter. That would be kind of nice. Speaking of Twitter announcements, so this is a fun thing I want to do for my Twitter peeps as well. When I hit 6,000, or I'm sorry, when I hit 5,000 followers over on Twitter, when I hit 5,000 followers over on Twitter, I'm going to release a series of 3. They're not going to be linked. They'll be thematically linked, but not like you go adventure to adventure to adventure. But I'm going to release a series of 3 first edition AD&D modules that are all themed off of Black Sabbath song titles. I already have the song titles picked out. So if you guys want more free goodness, and it's going to have to be free because it's first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and it is the property of Warner, Elektra, Atlantic, Ozzy Osbourne, Tonomi, Iommi, and you know it could get real ugly if I tried to take money for them. So if you want those and you're not already following me on Twitter, just boost that up, guys. Just keep boosting that signal and I'll make that happen. Okay. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm pretty excited by the number of folks who elected to come over and follow me. But I want to mention something else to you guys. I largely wouldn't be nearly as well known without some people, and I meant to get their links. I'm going to do a video this week where all I'm going to do is just talk about other people and their YouTube channels. So be on the lookout for that. But like over here, I got Father Aaron, the Dungeon Minister. Okay. Got Tim Imholt, who has been like chasing me around with a broom, making me tighten up my approach. And there's people who go way back, you know, Paint Minis Live, PML, Paint Minis Live. Look them up here on YouTube. Okay. You've got the Vile Necromancer, who's just a solid young man. You know, he's got a tiny channel. Guys, I want my channel to keep growing, but if you're going to subscribe to me and you want more of the things like I do, subscribe to these people too, because down here in this end of classic TTRPG Twitter, okay, we don't compete against each other. Like if I woke up tomorrow and everybody subscribed to me, also subscribed to the Dungeon Minister, and also subscribed to Vile Necromancer, and also subscribed to Paint Minis Live, and also subscribed to Lightmane, and also just all along the line, that would make me happy. Hey, Elven Maid Inn, mwah, good to see you too. This young lady has got a strategic review / early dragon quality zine she is putting out, and you guys should definitely check her out. I don't think Emmy does her own. Emmy, I know you've streamed before, but do you have your own YouTube thing or something like that? Emmy is absolutely fantastic. And I want to say something. The last time I saw my channel jump up 250 subscribers in a single day was because everything went sideways for Wizards of the Coast. And I was making video after video after video of their missteps. We're here now because Wizards can't stop screwing up. But brothers and sisters, my subscriptions will like one a day and then lose two the next day. Jump up three, lose one. Then lose four the next day. Then jump up five. You know, so by the end of a 7-day period, I might have a net gain of 2 subscribers. All right. And I don't want to drag you guys down with the numbers game talk because you are more than just analytics to me. Okay. The point that I'm making is I went out Saturday. Look, I didn't have some grand scheme. I didn't sit down with an influencer. I didn't watch a how-to video on YouTube. I didn't plot and scheme. I opened up Filmora and made that banner that I put on Twitter. And I posted it up and I figured 30 or 40 people. Boom! 250 people. Off of something positive. Positivity. All right. We shouldn't be at each other's throats. We shouldn't be up in each other's grills. You don't play D&D the right way. You're a fun haver. You don't do the right edition. All the people that serves are the C-suites at Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast. And I want you to think about what a camaraderie it was in the horticultural hall and Gary's basement at the VFW in Lake Geneva. That's the way it ought to be. That's the way it ought to be. All right. So I've kicked this up and I got 200 and whatever subscribers through positivity. And that's how it ought to be. That's how it ought to be. And I want you guys to I want you guys to embrace that. And I want you to make that part of your mantra. Okay? Go out there. Don't tell people why you hate 5th edition. Tell people why you love 1st edition. It works better. Okay? It works better. So I just wanted to say that. I just had to say that. So let me tell you something. If you're new, let me break down how the show works during the week. Okay. So Monday night, we got some news coming tonight. We got a little unboxing action coming tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun. Tuesday nights. Yeah. Tuesday nights, we do a live play of 1st edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Tim Imholt's in it. Doomsword Deathmaster's in it. Thane Kyle, D and Disability, another fantastic channel you subscribe to. He's in it. Let's see. We got Kevin in it. We've got who else is in it? Mobius is in it. And I don't think oh gosh, who else have we got in it? We've got Grimsby, our halfling thief, but it's not just sit back like, oh, okay, so you're trying to do the whole Critical Role thing. I got whatever. No. This is 1st edition AD&D first and foremost, but secondly, if you have a question about it, if you don't know if you're like, why are they rolling a D6 and every round? Why do they say like, oh, your armor class 2, so he didn't hit you? Wouldn't a 2 just be awful? If you have never played classic D&D before, ask in the chat. If I miss your question, we got a pretty smart audience out there, guys. Odds are they can answer the questions for you. All right. But I will do my best to answer your questions about everything that's going on in the game. Okay. Now, Wednesday, that's Tuesday. Wednesday night, yeah, I do this 5 nights a week. Wednesday, I got my Take No Prisoners co-host from Down Under, Kyle Schuant. He's here. That's going to be a lot of fun. We always have a lot of fun hanging out with Kyle. And then Thursday, I usually hold back for an interview. I got to double check. I don't want to say I've got an interview Thursday that we're going to have a guest on Thursday until I do the until I do all the contact stuff. I want to make sure that my guest is going to be here. But we will probably have a guest. If we don't, we're going to start deep diving some classic Dungeons and Dragons. I think a little Tegel Manor is in order for a deep dive look, guys. Oh, wait, no, not Tegel Manor, not this time. We're going to look at L3, Deep Dwarven Delve, that rare thing. Yeah, that's what we're going to do, because we looked at L1 and L2 already. Dungeon Minister Touchberry wants to know if this chair is comfortable. It's all right. I've been looking at getting a new one, but it's all right. Tim wants Ravenloft. So that's all stuff that's that's coming up. And then Friday we do another actual play, another live play of first edition Gamma World. This has been going on for a good long time. Again, we've got Doomsword, we've got Kanek, and Kevin is in that one also, and Yang Yan's out. Yang might be back. I don't know if he will be, but I hope he will be. Dirty Basement Terrain. But anyway, so that's the week, right? That's what we do. And as news comes up, and I'm going to tell you guys a funny news story here in just a minute, but as news comes up, I'll do videos, interstitial videos during the week. When stuff comes up, it's like, the spirit of Gary Gygax has inhabited his statue in Lake Geneva and is now the Gygax golem. Well, if that news breaks, I'm going to tell you guys about it. I'm going to drop a video on that. Okay. So when stuff like that comes up, I'll let you know, Hasbro, shuts down all D&D forever. Well, I'll have a video on that. Right. So, yeah, that's what I do. The Gygax golem, good. It needs to have like ray eyes that like blast out dangerous beams. Dungeon Minister. Have I ever streamed a run of one of the homemade modules? I have not. They're not that good. I just don't think they are. I tried to make them good. No, I'm kidding. I haven't done them yet. So that's the week in a nutshell right there. News videos as they happen, leaning in on the positive, and then barring something, because I'm a real person, guys. Let me tell you something. I know I said my co-host Kyle doesn't want the controls. Okay. I've tried to be like, Kyle, I'm going to make you an administrator on this, and this. He's like, no, you're not. If you're not there, I ain't doing it. So it is by and large me. And if something comes up, like last year, I got the human malware after GaryCon, and you can pretty much ask anyone here. I wasn't streaming, Forno, good to see you. I better quit that imposter syndrome noise. You're right. I suck as an imposter. Somebody's going to find out and do it better than me and just take it away. So I should probably just quit now. Hey, Boone Flyer, good to see you. Patty's Parlor, hello. I see so many new names, and yet I see names that I recognize. It's wonderful. I love this. I love this. I'm doing good, Boone. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. That's pretty good, Mark Morrison. I like that. Hey, could you guys give me a like on the video if you like the video, please? And see, Derek Man just wants me to go. All right, guys. Well, y'all take it easy. I'm just kidding. Did I mention Tim Imholt has a channel here on YouTube? Dude's just all over the place, and I mean that in a good way. He's got, it's like, ask him a physics question, he'll drop a physics video. I'm waiting on the Interstellar video, Tim. Anyway, and Tim and I are actually going to do a video Wednesday together. But that's secret sauce. Thank you, Doc Flamingo. I know it's hard. That's why I chose it. Sorry. But anyway, so yeah. So Tim's got a great channel. You should check it out. Who else? She's not in the audience right now, but Harmony Ginger on YouTube is pretty cool. I like her videos a lot. Check her channel out. Willie Nelson trying to, mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be hobbits. Don't let them leave the Shire and haul them old rings. Let them be bartenders and farmers and things. Miss Bella Games, hello. Namaste, my dear. Good night, Emmy. Be well. Oh my gosh. So, it's Alabama at the goal line. You shall not pass. That's right, Michael. That's right. Isn't Interstellar a Wally? I don't think so, Jorge. That's a bit of a stretch. So listen, we have regularly scheduled stuff we do here. I've run my mouth just about enough. Let's get to some news. Are you guys ready for some news? Let's see. Let's see if I can do this, if this will come up. Because there actually is some TTRPG news, and the first one, because I don't remember here. Okay, so GW boots. Anyway, GW has unveiled, they have a new Lord of the Rings Lotro Quest to Mount Doom board game. Now, it took me some Googling to find out info on this because they've released like 3 copies or 3 different versions of it since the like 2010s, but this is a new one. And this is over from ICV2, and I've got a joke between this and the next one about ICV2. Games Workshop unveiled the Lord of the Rings Quest to Mount Doom, a new Middle-earth adventure game which will be on pre-order on May 25, 2024. Players can relive the adventures of Frodo, Sam, and their friends as they attempt to destroy the One Ring. The game follows their quest from the doors of the Green Dragon all the way to the fires of Mount Doom. This is a competitive game where up to 5 players will try to outmaneuver each other to secure the ring and eventually destroy it. The game also includes 9 highly detailed miniatures of the Fellowship of the Ring characters, and let's check that out. They are really, they're really milking it. So here are the minis. Now, if you played or even just collected the Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle Earth game that GW puts out, you might recognize some of those sculpts. I don't know if those are plastic with a metallic finish on them, or if they actually went and made metal miniatures. There's 9, so I guess you get, Sam, Frodo, Merry, Pippin, Gandalf, Legolas, Boromir, Gimli, and Aragorn, or what? But that's just kind of a look at it. It seems like a fairly lightweight, childish game. Buy it for the minis, Dungeon Minister. This is a Games Workshop game. This will probably cost north of $200. So unless somebody wants to donate it to me, they're probably plastic with a metal finish. Yeah, TXG, I kind of feel you there. I would Michael, that depends on what Latro you're talking about. Because like you could go all the way back to Iron Crown Enterprises MERP, or the one that came out right after the movies, or the one that came out from Cubicle 7, or the one that came out after that, or the current one, or the Battle for Middle Earth games from Games Workshop. So yeah, Noble Shield says he plays Warhammer and they're probably way pricey. Yeah. See, unfortunately, GW does not let go of their IP. Like, if this was a Wizards of the Coast game, they would dump this in October onto store shelves, and in March, you could go to Ollie's and pick it up for $9 a set, which is what happened to all of their games. So if you want cheap minis, find a local Ollie's, because I guarantee you they've got D&D stuff on the cheap over there. Missing Bill, exactly. So Shinchara, I see what you did there, and I like it a lot. So I got to tell you guys a little bit about ICV2, because this is funny. Whoops. Wrong button. I thought this was damn funny today. So I went looking on ICV2. And I went looking for news today, and there was a headline on ICV2. Wizards of the Coast is looking to acquire DreamWorks. It's like, what? And it's a Variety reported, and I click on it, and sure enough, it popped up, and I was like, oh, that is a breaking news thing. And I was watching YouTube, and nobody else is reporting on this. Now, there is a prime time between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. that you want your video to hit on YouTube. So I'm like, cool. I made up a title card. I was getting my talking points ready. And after I'd done all my honeydews and chores around the house, I sat down to make the video. And I come over to this PC. This is obviously hooked up to the internet. I come over to this PC. And I'm like, I just opened Google, Variety, Hasbro, acquisition, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just getting a bunch of articles from like 2016. And I'm like, what? Okay, all right. I got it. It's probably so new that it hasn't. So I throw ICV2.com into my Boolean. There we go. Okay, I click it. Somebody over at ICV2 accidentally to the internet. All the articles that started in like 2014 and then finally petered out in 2016 when the deal fell through was what ICV2 had found. ICV2, let me see if I can maybe find this. If I can't find this real quick, I'm not going to worry about it. But Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Note, we incorrectly reported in an earlier version of this article that a 10-year-old variety story about talks between DreamWorks Animation and Hasbro referred to current talks. That was incorrect. We apologize for the error. Whoops. So I was all keyed up. I was ready to drop that article, but I'm so glad I didn't. Oh, I just thought that was funny. I hope you guys thought it was funny too. All right. So what other more news? There is do we have any Talisman fans out there? Are you guys fans of the board game Talisman? I'm waiting. Are any of you fans of Talisman? I can wait here all night. No, I'm just kidding with you. So thank you, Dice Tales. Thank you, finally, somebody. Okay. So this actually is from Dicebreaker, and man, they're bringing the Dicebreaker. Leave the sarcasm to the people who know how to do this. So this is the new. This is from Dicebreaker. Spent another 5 hours moving 3 spaces in the new Talisman board game from the studio behind Betrayal at House on the Hill. And this is wild because Talisman is ostensibly a GW property. This is Avalon Hill, which is Wizards of the Coast, who are Hasbro. So I was a little shook when I saw that. So this is Alex Meehan over there. Hello, Alex. New edition of Talisman, the classic adventure board game, is coming from the publisher behind Betrayal at House on the Hill. Originally released in 1983, Talisman is a board game wherein 2 to 6 players compete to acquire the Crown of Command, which is held directly in the center of the board. The original edition of the title was published by Games Workshop, yada yada 40K, we know that, and designed by Robert Harris. In the game, players choose from a selection of characters inspired by classic fantasy role-playing game archetypes before traveling through each ring on the board in order to reach the middle. The series has changed over the years, with Fantasy Flight Games, a company behind the release of Star Wars Unlimited card game, taking over publishing rights. Okay, so that was back in 2008, releasing a revised version of the 4th edition of the title. As players progress through the game, they'll acquire new equipment, abilities, and allies they can use to overcome various challenges that block them from entering the inner rings of the board. Gaining these advantages can require players to pass a skill check of some kind, with each starting character offering a different array of statistics. Players also have to defeat a rogues gallery of monsters during the fantasy board game, all up for the goal of completing a talisman quest in order to enter the board's inner world. Other players may challenge each other through combat, with any losing player being forced to fall back behind the winner. Whichever player reaches a portal of power first claims a Crown of Command, which they can use to eliminate all the other players and win. Talisman 5e, officially known as Talisman the Magical Quest board game 5th edition, will be published by Avalon Hill, a studio that's best known for releasing the horror board game series Betrayal at House on the Hill. That is not what Avalon Hill is best known for releasing. Not in the least. I'm sorry. Even I know that that's not what Avalon Hill is best known for releasing. And there's a bunch of the game cards. The new edition will feature 100 different adventure cards for players to encounter during their journey through the land of Talisman, all of which include illustrations, with the entire board game containing brand new artwork and updated components. The gameplay for 5th edition has been streamlined to make it more accessible to less experienced players, with no more details about its gameplay available beyond that. So that is interesting. The Wonderful Wizard of Games. You've joined my live stream. Wonderful Wizard of Games. You've been here before. Zach says all the good D&D stuff is gone at Ollie's. The only thing left is those broken toy dolls. Okay. Yeah, Tactics, Rise and Decline, Panzer Blitz, Dune, Starship Troopers, Acquire, oh my gosh, Status Pro Baseball. Dice Tale says the myriad Byzantine opportunities for gameplay is what made the game fun. The fun's usually over when somebody finally gets the crown of command. There you go. Yeah, Advanced Squad Leader. It's not Betrayal at House on the Hill, the best known Avalon Hill game. Comes up with this stuff. So that's the news. And so what do you guys want to do next? You want to talk about the new edition cover art? Because I have some thoughts on that. Or do you guys want to go unboxing? What do you guys do? We can do them both. We got plenty of time. Wizard's Quest, that's another good one. What were some other good Avalon Hill? Oh, there were so many of them. The baseball and football ones. I have one over here. Kingmaker. Kingmaker was a great Avalon Hill one. Unboxing. Okay, so I'm seeing a couple of unboxings. Don't know when that 50th anniversary book is coming out. So let's do unboxings. So let me see if I get this over here. I have this guy right here. Actually, I've got a couple of these, but I'm just going to unbox the one. This is from Kid Robot. You know what? You guys can't probably see that real well. Let me see. Is that the one? That is not the one. Sorry about that. Let me see. There we go. Okay, so these are from Kid Robot. And what these are is these are little blind draw boxes featuring iconic D&D characters. Now, I got one of these for Christmas last year, and I snagged a couple more. So we're just going to do the one tonight. Now, if you're wondering what these are all about, the one that I got last year was the Roper. He's an angry pickle. And so that kind of gives you an idea. Whoops. That kind of gives you an idea also of how durable they are. But yeah, it's based on classic D&D art. So we're going to open one of these anew live on the air. So let me get my +1 dagger of opening. See if I can do this without putting this through my hand. And let's take a gander and see what we've got in the box. This is Series 2. Apparently last year was Series 1, so I've missed all those. Maybe I can find them if I feel compelled. And the box is glued shut. So I'm actually going to have to take some care not to destroy this. Yes, Domi P, please deploy the likes. So what do we got here, guys? And by the way, in case somebody's going to come at me with the complaints about WizKids, this is Kid Robot. This is a different company. So let's see. That's 2 flaps open. I'm not going to look. I'm just going to reach in and draw it out. The box is open. Set that right there. And now, oh, it's in a foil baggie. They sent me a Pop-Tart. Let's see what we got. We got one of them zip seals that doesn't come undone. Are you kidding me? All right, we got it over here. Invisible stalker. Yeah, invisible stalker. Okay, here we go, guys. We got a two-piece one, guys. Check this out. I'm gonna put it together. Y'all are gonna y'all are gonna have to suffer for a minute while I get this together. I got a carrion crawler. Blah, 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 blah. I love it. Oh, he's an angry worm. So there we go, guys. That was our mini. That's our mystery miniature. So there we go. We're gonna put that in a place of honor. And let's go back to studio. Let's join Bill Sylvie, already in progress. So there we go. We have this guy was in two pieces when I opened the box. Like, this was in a separate baggie, which is why I dropped him. But there we are. A carrion crawler. Crawl, my friend, crawl. So pretty spiffy. I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't have a problem using that on just as a miniature. That's pretty kicking, actually. The ultra evolved form of the cicadas that just invaded Tennessee. Yeah, no doubt. You fully expect to see that? Yeah, I may. I absolutely might. So I'm pretty stoked about the carrion crawler. I like that. Are they just in the Underdark? Or what just in the Underdark? So next week, like I said, I got two of them. Next week, we're going to open another one and see what we got for our Monday Miniature Madness. Roper versus carrion crawler. Who wins? The angry pickle or the surprise sleepy time worm? Roper. Yeah, I mean, it's Roper's like 8 hit dice, like 8 to 10 hit dice. But I don't know if the Roper is, you know what? We got to look this up. This is for science. We got to find out if this Roper is immune. Because, I mean, it could just be, whap, grabs him, and then gets paralyzed. So let's see. Let's look this up. I have a PDF of the monster manual right here. All right, we're going to share this up on screen. Sorry for the awkward silence. And add to stage. Okay, so there's our Roper. We need that a little bit bigger, don't you think? Let's just zoom that in. So the Roper. My bad. Hit dice 10 to 12. Right there, it's beaten the carrion crawler out. Damage per attack 5 to 20. 6 poisonous strands. All right. Ropers inhabit subterranean caverns. They will prey upon all forms of creatures, but humans are their favorite form of food. These monsters can stand upright in order to resemble a pillar or stalagmite, or flatten themselves at full length upon the floor so as to look like nothing more than a hump. The Roper has a gizzard-like organ which holds 3 to 18 platinum and contain up to 5 to 20 gems, 35% chance. The Roper has 6 strands of strong, sticky, or rope-like excretion which it can shoot from 2 inches to 5 inches. That's 20 feet to 50 feet underground. And it is only underground because it says they inhabit subterranean caverns. A hit causes weakness, 50% from strength in 1 to 3 melee rounds, and the roper then draws its prey into its toothy maw where it is quickly devoured. The chance for breaking a strand is the same for opening a door, but for every round the roper will drag the victim 10 feet closer. They are unaffected by lightning, take half damage at most from cold, but are very susceptible to fire, -4 on saving throw. And then it goes into a physical description. It does not say that the roper is immune to the carrion crawler's paralysis. Let's just double check under the carrion crawler. Now, it does get a save as a 10th, 11th, or 12th level fighter because of its hit dice. So here we got our carrion crawler. Oh, I guess I should show that to you guys. Yes, 1d4 times 5, Joe. Easy enough for a 10th, 11th, or 12th hit dice monster to hit with its armor class of 3 or 7. They strongly resemble a cross between a giant green cutworm and a huge cephalopod. They're usually found only in subterranean areas. The carrion crawler is, as its name implies, a scavenger, but this does not preclude aggressive attacks upon living creatures, for that ensures a constant supply of corpses upon which to feed for or deposit eggs. The head of the monster is well protected, but its body is only armor class 7. A carrion crawler moves quite rapidly on its multiple legs, despite its bulk, and a wall or a ceiling is easily traveled as a floor, for each of the beast's feet are equipped with sharp claws which hold it fast. The head is equipped with 8 tentacles which flail at prey. Each 2 foot long tentacle exudes a gummy secretion which, when fresh, will paralyze opponents. Save versus paralysis or it takes effect. As there are so many tentacles with which to hit and thus multiple chances of being paralyzed, these monsters are greatly feared. So I think we have right there the classic Mexican standoff. I think a roper, because they're highly intelligent, is going to leave a carrion crawler alone. And indeed, given that a roper might spit something out of what it's eaten, or at least excrete it, a carrion crawler might just hang around and wait for that to happen and not worry about trying to go after the roper. I could see a roper only going after a carrion crawler if it was exceptionally hungry, for the danger of winding up paralyzed and slowly eaten alive by this thing. So I think I think we have a mutually assured destruction type situation, because 1 to 6 carrion crawlers average 3. That's 24 chances for the roper to blow a save versus paralyzation. I'm thinking the roper, unless 1, he's starving, and 2, the carrion crawler is by itself, I'm thinking the roper just leaves it the hell alone. But what do you guys think? 6 crawlers versus a low-level party? Absolutely a TPK. Absolutely a total party kill. No doubt whatsoever. That is my thinking. So let me see here. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just checking something out. Just want to quick gander at this. Guys, we're at 5,978 subscription on this channel. We are 22 subscriptions out from hitting 6,000 subs. Let me just double check that. Yeah, 5,978. And that is just amazing. That's you guys. Thank you for showing me that much love. Would love to hit 6,000 in the next couple of days. That would be awesome. Daniel Rowan asks, if the carry crawler hits multiple times, do you have the player make multiple saves or one save with a penalty based on the number? I just do multiple saves, if I'm being honest. You know, you might want to just like, you know, like, okay, it hit you with one, that's a normal save. It hit you with another one, save it minus +1 to your target, and then all the way up to 6. Luther, I could definitely do that. Like next March, like a bracket, and fight it out. Not on the show, but I just come in and say, the Green Dragon beat the Kobolds in a clutch game. Green Dragon advances to the to the Sweet 16 or whatever. I could do that. Daniel, there's no guidance on it, so I would just do what you want, yeah? Joe says, I've been spreading the gospel of the DD and the gift of money to everyone I play with at the mall. Good for you, brother. That's how you do it. That's the way you do it. Big boss monsters like Orcus and Strahd. Oh, man. Orcus would squish Strahd. That would be over before it even started. First of all, Orcus is the lord of all undead. Strahd's a vampire. I'll challenge you, Orcus. No, you won't. Crunch. Thank you, Patty, for hanging out. I appreciate it. So now I want to ask you guys, particularly like if you're one of the folks who's just kind of signed up for this and you're like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Do you have any questions for me? Just let me know. Just put them in the chat and let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. Speaking of the chat, by the way, you might have noticed there's a crawl going across the bottom. If you want to support the show on Patreon, or if you want to support it on YouTube memberships, which you click right down there, or maybe it's down there. I don't know, or maybe it's kind of in between, somewhere down there. You can support the show for as little as $1 a month on Patreon or on YouTube memberships. At the $10 level every month, you will receive a first edition advanced D&D adventure written by myself or by my co-host. Wonderful Wizards is not new, but is confused by what 5d4. 5 to 20 damage. It's 5d4. Roll 5 4-sided dice. See if this will work. And it wasn't working last time, and I was a little disappointed in that. Maybe it'll work this time. Maybe I need to restart my PC, which I'm not doing in the middle of a show. But let's see if I can get this to work. That and DD dice is on. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we roll them. And no, they absolutely did not appear on screen. But yeah, 5d4, 15. What do I see as the future for Wizards of the Coast? They're just going to keep on keeping on. You know, they're telling the same lie that they told with 4th edition and 3rd edition that TSR told with 2nd edition. And that is that ours is the most popular. This edition of D&D is the most popular edition ever. Which always, I don't know how I broke it. I got the new, I got the new thing. Maybe I can get it. Let's copy it. But it seemed to say that this is the most popular, that any edition is the most popular edition of D&D ever, seems to be a little counterproductive, because if it's that popular and everybody wants to play it, wouldn't it follow that I would keep playing that edition then instead of being force marched into the new edition? Oh, that's what we were going to talk about. Thank you for reminding me. I was going to talk about the Gold Dragon cover. Did that work? Still didn't work. I'm going to have to troubleshoot that before tomorrow night. So that's something else I want to talk about. I want to talk about those covers. What's up with Vile Necromancer? He is not lost in the tunnels. I have talked to him at length. He's actually doing very well. He's just exceptionally busy, and we hope he comes back soon. So let me talk to you guys for a little bit. I'm glad somebody mentioned it, because I actually have material for this, if you will. I just got to get over to where I'm going to be. So let me do this. Let's go to was it Table Cam? No, was it Studio View 2? Or is it Studio Slideshow? It's Studio Slideshow. Okay. So I want to share this with you guys. Whoops. So this is the new cover. First of all, this is an alt cover. This is an alternate cover for the player's handbook. And in case you can't see that very well, it's a group of adventurers hanging around with a gold dragon, having tea or coffee with it. This artwork is really neat. I like the artwork. It's not something I would have chosen for the player's handbook. D&D to me was always about danger and exploration and treasure getting. About great and epic quests. Sitting down and having coffee and tea with a gold dragon is not. That's very twee. I know it looks like something that goes on a box of tea. It's a perfectly fine piece of art. If it had been under the entry for Gold Dragon in the new Monster Manual, that's fine. With that said, it's an alt cover. You don't have to get this if you don't want that, but you want the new D&D. But let me show you guys something. I'm going to show you the first cover for the first ever Dungeons and Dragons novel. Joe, it's the cover for the 6E Player's Handbook. This is a very, very similar cover. It is a gold dragon conversating with a group of adventurers. This is the first ever D&D novel. The first D&D novel was not Forgotten Realms. It was not Dragonlance. It wasn't Birthright. It wasn't Maztica. It was Greyhawk. I don't see a huge artistic difference between these two pieces. This is what Gary and Co. chose for the first ever D&D novel that was written by Andre Norton. Well, actually, the publisher probably chose it. But there you have it. All right. I don't think that's particularly twee or anything like that. It could be an homage. It could be an homage, Joe. But I don't think it's worth getting upset over the having tea with a dragon. That's never how I want to play D&D. Like, you know, let's have a, you know, let's have a little tea party kind of thing instead of, you know, sword swinging, monster slaying adventure. I mean, the art is fine. The art is absolutely fine. It's not what I would pick, but it's not awful, and it doesn't make me want to tear my eyes out, and it didn't ruin D&D. Again, when it comes to the art, and I said this about the cover art for the Dungeon Master's Guide, like, I don't care for the art, but it doesn't ruin D&D. And let's look inside. What they do with the rules means more to me than anything they do with the art, just about, within reason. You know, I mean, I think, yeah, hey, here's 5 adventurers who poured it into our own realm and are taking a leak on Gary Gygax's grave. Yeah, that would make me mad. Unless the Tea Party leads immediately to gratuitous violence. But yeah, I'm not caught up in, oh, the Tea Party covers the end of D&D. There's going to be people who buy the Tea Party cover. Look, first of all, I love Jeff Easley's artwork, but I never liked the Jeff Easley artwork for the covers of AD&D books. You know, I've had people straight up tell me, yeah, the Jeff Easley cover of the Player's Handbook is better than the Trampier cover. And those people are sick and need help. They need help. But there are ample numbers of people have differing opinions on the art in D&D. I remember one of the stupidest arguments, like, I played enough 3rd edition and 3.5 to know that I didn't like it. And I'll tell you straight up, I was literally telling my fellow grognards, shut up, you're embarrassing me. The number of people who tore themselves in half, like they rent their shirts, they threw ashes on their hair, they pulled their hairs out, and said that 3rd edition art was anime. It looks like anime. It looks like Japanimation. Just shut up. You are literally just using words that you heard and you don't know what they mean. But the point is, people's taste on art is just going to differ than yours. I mean, Luther thinks the only good D&D covers are the ones that Errol Otis did. And I highly disagree with that. I am incredibly dead set against that. Sutherland? Force? D? Just to name a few? No, sir. No, sir. There are many good D&D artists. But you're welcome to like what you want. And I am too. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. I just blew in from Iluvatar's throne, and boy, are my wings tired. Joe Kaufman says, I saw a video of one of the writers who I recognized in front of a live audience. I don't know shite, but he seemed like a pretty sharp guy and probably a good person. What do I know, though? It was West Coast propaganda. Ha! See, for me, third edition, like, the book pages were the color and consistency of cockroach wings. Like, I felt icky handling them, and black ink on sepia tone, sometimes brown ink on sepia tone. Who the hell made that decision? The book's not a prop. It's a manual. The play is happening at the table, not in your hands. Let's see. Michael Mertig says, I've always heard that good dragons would live as a human or elf, for example, live with them, protect them, fight them, and even help or love them. Yeah, I mean, you could play it like that. I think dragons, they're going to live thousands of years, maybe. And so they might be a little aloof from human, but it certainly says that, there's the silver dragons and gold dragons in particular will they will form a degree of community around humans who are also lawful and good, or at least good. But like you get to brass dragons, like copper dragons are greedy. They're not mean, but I mean, they might cheat at dice. Try and get your treasure from you, but they're not gonna like, haha, I'm gonna go burn that village down, anything like that. Don't do that, Luther. Please don't do that. I've had that trope in my Greyhawk games for a long time, and I know Gary did as well, and lots of other famous D&D authors. So don't do that. Anyone calling Wayne Reynolds or Todd Lockwood's art animation seek help? Yes, that is correct. I don't know about red dragons, though. I always the red dragons was always more of a, Smaug to me. Look, I'm just going to sit on this pile of treasure and I'm going to fake your ass out. And if you say anything, like you look sideways at me, I'm just going to melt you where you stand. As a matter of fact, I might do it anyway, rather than I'm going to form myself into a human to stroll amongst you. And white, black, and green dragons are too dumb. Blue are fairly smart, but I think they would be like plotting and scheming all the time. Yeah, I know a lot of you weirdos like Dragonlance. What can I say? But let's see. Do we have any more news? I think that's it for the news. Like I said, Yeah, the blue dragons are the blue dragons are probably the most like mafioso in the hang on. Is there any advice for converting from 2E to 1E? Yes. Primarily in monster hit dice. Just have the 1E monster manual handy and adjust treasure accordingly. And otherwise, I mean, I think 2E kind of started to lean into, hey, you can play the FR and Dragonlance novels. So maybe avoid that railroadiness that kind of crept into 2E adventures. But rules wise, there's some fiddling to do. What books should you get in the Greyhawk novels? Just Gygax's, or the others good too? The others are okay. The Gygax novels that were not written by Gary are completely. They have nothing to do with Gary's Greyhawk. If you want Greyhawk the way that Gary envisioned it, then just read Gary's Gord the Rogue novels, which is Greyhawk 1 and Greyhawk 2, and then the ones he published through New Infinities, and then later through other companies. They got reissued, I think, by Troll Lord. So just stick with those, and the later or the other novels. Maybe come back and read those after you've read Gary's. Are Minotaur? No. Good Lord, no. No. Minotaurs are in every version of D&D and every campaign setting. I can't think of a campaign setting in D&D that doesn't have Minotaurs in it. I have them as NPCs too, although to shorten it, I call them monsters. Okay, well, I just got a response email back, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys. David McLeese, who has a RPG called Project Sunflower, will be here on Thursday. David McLeese. Why wouldn't I have Minotaurs? Well, I don't want goody NPC Minotaurs. They're chaotic evil bullmen. I mean, what did the first Minotaur do in the labyrinth? He ate people that were sacrificed to him. No, they're not they're not player characters in classic D&D. I know other people have introduced them, but that's not an OD&D. No, let me back up. That's not a first edition AD&D or a basic D&D thing. I don't know about 2E and it almost absolutely is something you can do in third edition, because they were just like, oh, screw it. Everybody can be in anything. You can have a half drow, quarter gelatinous cube, 1/16 black dragon, 1/32 halfling, paladin, assassin, wizard, thief. Third edition is where it really began to sit in. Cheeseburger. Oh, boo. Cheeseburger out. That was terrible. Your brother had a player beg him to play a Minotaur, so he had him constantly harassed by a group of crazy farmers. Well, you didn't steer him wrong. Probably shouldn't play a Minotaur. Yeah, it's when do you have? When does eating Minotaur stop being having steak and start becoming cannibalism? Re-ask, you want me to run a Monster Royal Rumble? Have I done it? No, I haven't. That would be something that would, like I said, I might do that as a March Madness kind of thing. I mean, maybe one day as kind of like, hey, let's fight this out. Let's see how this would actually work, and see, you know, if that would work. But I don't know. Oh my gosh. So I feel like I've just about run out of interesting things. But let me see here. So what we're going to do is tomorrow evening, we're playing again, in case you missed it the first time at the start of the stream. Tomorrow evening, we are playing for your entertainment, your edutainment, if you will, because your entertainment and your education. We're going to be playing first edition Advanced D&D live on the stream. I'll do everything I can to get the dice roller working, guys, I promise. And if you have any questions about the play type that we've got going on there, please ask a question. Say, why are you doing it that way? And I will answer any questions within reason. And if I don't, someone in the audience may. I got a pretty smart bunch of people out there in the audience. Well, thank you very much, Joe. I appreciate that. Keep Timothy's character alive here. I don't know. I mean, you guys might have to throw in. You guys might have to chip in on the super chats to keep Tim alive. Or maybe chip in on the super chats to kill his characters off. I don't know. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Chris. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, but a Minotaur as a pacifist character would be too easily cowed. You're quite welcome, Michael. Guys, I'm going to get out of here. I got an AD&D game to get ready for, not live streamed. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, guys, please do click the subscribe button. Click the bell icon for notifications about this and all of our upcoming videos and live streams. Like I said, I got one I'm doing with Tim on Wednesday. We got live streams all week. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's their choice, Jay. That's their choice to not use a camera. But anyway, with that said, regardless of what you do, what edition you're playing in, you got to keep your eyes peeled for the dreaded owl bears. Good night.
Have you seen my owl bear? It's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way out forks? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing things, just take me to the show.